Okay, so for the next part of this, we are going to finish dimensioning all of the rest of the features of the part that we have not previously dimensioned and make sure that all of our dimensions are correct. So per the directions, we needed to make sure that we add any hole indications and make sure that we add the word through to all of the hole dimensions to show that the holes actually go all the way through the part. So I'm going to start by showing you how to do those. So first things first, I'm going to just start with my front view like I have been, and I'm going to make sure that all of those things are indicated that I need to. So this hole right here that has a diameter of 0.5, that one goes all the way through. So when I double click on the dimension, this box shows up, and that is where I can put the through, and it will show up right here on my dimension. So I'm going to go ahead and continue to alter those dimensions. This one right here, I have a radius on each side that is the same thing. So rather than indicating two separate dimensions, I'm just going to double click on this one and actually move my cursor over to the left hand side, and you can't see it flashing, but if I start to type in 2x, that should give it a 2 times a radius of 0.5. I'm actually just going to throw a space in between those. Okay, so I know that this hole goes all the way through. I know that this one has 2 times the radius of 0.5. I'm going to go up to my top view here. I know that I have 2 holes, okay, that go 2 times this diameter of 0.5 all the way through. This dimension right here, I'm going to move this one around and see if I can get this at a better spot. And since this one is interfering, I'm actually going to move, delete this one, and place this one inside here. And it might just require some maneuvering around. And do this. So I'm going to change this one, excuse me, to 2 times that radius. And I'm going to also change this one to 2 times 0.5. Okay, so that should indicate that from here to here is the same distance as it is from here to here. Typically we don't really do that, but because of the space constriction, it'll be okay for this one. So then this dimension looks pretty good. The only thing I'm not happy with is how my isometric is a little too large, so I'm going to bump that down a little bit, and I'm going to make sure that it remains shaded, just to save myself some extra room. You could probably even change the scale around a little bit more. I'm also going to change the orientation. So this actually shows my front. This actually shows the right side, and my top is the correct top view for the rest of these orthographic projections. So here I'm going to take a second to look over, make sure that all of my dimensions are correct. The height here looks pretty good. I might bump that out a little bit to give this a little bit more room. The width here looks good. I have my overall width, overall depth. I might even dimension from this point to this point over here and just do some moving around. I'm going to pull this one back in. I'm also going to pull this one back in. It looks a little bit better. This is spilling out over here, so I can try and move this around, or what I might end up having to do is just pull this front view in a little bit more. Okay, and looking at this, I like to go through and make sure that I can build all the separate features. So if I were to build the base, I know the width and I know the depth of the base, and then I could extrude that base up to a distance of 1/2 of an inch. On top of that, I could build this section over here. So I know that that would be 1/2 an inch from the back to the middle, kind of going in the depth direction. I know it would be the width of the part, and then I know what basically what this top width across here would be, because it actually meshes right into this circle right here. So I know that it would have a diameter from here to here of 1. So even if I dimension that from here to here would be 1. Okay, so that's accurate. And then I know that I could extrude that to the correct distance. And then from here, I know that I could create this sort of circular shape up here on the top. And I would be able to start from the back right here, right in the middle, and I would be able to extrude that out. I know that the center of this circle is in the center of this circle because they are sharing the same center mark, so that's pretty good. This one goes all the way through. These holes also go all the way through. So dimension-wise, that looks pretty good. The activity that you have asks you to label whether or not it is a size dimension or a location dimension. So you don't necessarily have to do that right now. We will go over what is a size location again and what is a length dimension for us, or a location dimension. So we'll go over that again. So for right now, this looks pretty good. My isometric is shaded. My height is fully dimensioned. My widths are all fully dimensioned. My depths are all fully dimensioned. So I would say that right here, this is pretty good.